What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Drunk Bros Podcast. Today I got a very special guest with me. Phoenix Winterborn himself.
Had to say it.
John Peterson, great friend of mine, longtime friend.
What, since grade school?
Yeah, since knee high to grasshopper.
Shit.
But yeah, we've known each other for a long time, and now you're out here doing big things, doing the independent wrestling.
Yep.
That's what this is all going to be about. WWF. That's what I'm always going to call it.
I know. Everyone's old school with it, so.
Fuck you, PETA, or whatever. Wildlife. What is it? Who stole that?
It was PETA.
Was it PETA?
No, World Wildlife Fund.
Yes. Fuck you, World Wildlife Fund.
They put the trademark in. They're like, well, all right.
That's so. In Vince McMahon being like a super businessman.
Yeah, you think he would have fought that a little bit more. But
you think he would have had that patent down?
But you know what? It's all good. They've got those WWF shirts now that have got the two pandas with the folding chair on them. Dude, it's so legit. I want one of those. Yes, they've got.
What?
It's got the WWF, like the World Wildlife Fund logo, and it's got the two pandas, like the guy one's got a chair standing over the other one.
Oh my god,
dude, it's so awesome. I gotta find it.
I gotta find a picture of that.
Barbershopwindow.com's got them.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
But yes, we're gonna talk about everything wrestling, and we're gonna talk about some of our favorite wrestling moments. What got you into wrestling first and foremost?
What got me into wrestling? You know, back when I was in junior high, I was always going to my buddy Steve's house, and we'd sit down doing whatever. And one night we started watching Monday Night Raw, and it was kind of going for a couple weeks. It was something for us to do on Mondays. And one night, it was 2001, I want to say. No, it was 2001. There was a WWF Championship match. It was a ladder match between The Undertaker and Jeff Hardy. And sitting there watching that match, Jeff Hardy was one of those dudes. He was probably about as big as I am. And, you know, everyone knows Undertaker, big 6'6" motherfucker looking.
He's a giant.
Taker was just beating the brakes off him. But Jeff kept fighting, and he eventually got to a point where Undertaker was going to put him up for a powerbomb. And Jeff just comes up, he's got a chair with him, swings straight up, knocks him down. He's out like a light, and it got to the point where Jeff was almost at the championship belt up on top of the ladder. And, you know, it got me thinking. It was like, well, shit, if a little dude like that can do it, why can't I? And, you know, at that point, I started doing homework. I started watching as much as I can, you know, Raw, SmackDown, which was all I knew at the time.
Right.
Raw, SmackDown, watching every week, trying to see what they did. And how
emulate what you've seen.
Yeah, they always say don't try this at home, but we know how many of us actually tried that at home.
On trampolines.
That was exactly what we did, dude. Me and my buddy me and Steve back when we were younger, he had a trampoline out of his backyard, so we'd pop that next over to his garage, and we
it sounds like it's gonna get real sketchy real fast.
It got a little bit sketchy. Steve, I'm still sorry about the back.
He's on crutches right now.
No, he ain't on crutches, but back in what it was for that old swanton onto the trampoline. Like, we hit so hard we both hit the ground, dude.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
That's some hardcore shit going on.
Man, we did crazy stuff back in the day.
But before the independent thing, you watched probably as a kid like every other kid from WCW days.
Yeah, I was steady watching the Monday Night Wars, like me and Steve.
NWO.
2000, yeah. Me and Steve would switch back between Raw and Nitro every Monday night. And between SmackDown and Thunder on Thursdays.
Remember when Sting used to wear like the black and white face paint?
Yeah, the crow face
come down
paint.
from a fucking
Yeah, he'd have the belt just swing straight down. He's got the bat with him the whole time.
The Louisville Slugger somebody in the head and
Man.
just dip back up.
Sting gave no fucks back in the day.
That was so legit.
No fucks.
I never seen him wrestle. I just seen him come down, beat him up with a bat, take back home. That's the man.
Tell you what, go back and watch Starrcade 97. It was WCW title match between Sting and Hogan. It was considered one of the best matches, like from a story standpoint, in WCW history.
Really?
Yeah. The WWE Network got them. They got all the pay-per-views and whatnot from like all the way back to like WrestleMania 1 and before that, dude.
Yeah, that's that subscription service thing, right?
Yep, $10 a month gets you every single pay-per-view. They've got Raw and SmackDowns up until like the last few weeks, just processing.
That's pretty legit, right?
Yeah, dude, it's got everything. Got like WCW. They even got old stuff like AWA, NWA, World Class Championship Wrestling, and we're going back to like 60s and 70s at this point.
Damn.
They've got it all.
So you're gonna get like Macho Man,
You got
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, you got Macho Man, you got Warrior, you got Savage, Steamboat, everybody. Good old Nature Boy. Did you hear about the story about Nature Boy put out recently? He put this story out, I guess, on his podcast that he had him banging Halle Berry at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Nature Boy. Shout out to you. I'll give you that plug. That's what's up. That's awesome.
Nature's still that dude.
Talking about some of the older stuff has me wondering what would be your favorite era, considering they kind of break it down a little
Yeah,
bit.
they break it down. You know, they got like the rock and wrestling back in like the mid to late 80s. My favorite era, actually, surprisingly, is not the Attitude Era.
See, it's gonna be mine.
No, my favorite era was that early 90s, you know, where they were just transitioning from, you know, just like, what was it, Saturday Night's Main Event and whatnot, right? Starting into Monday Night Raw back in 92.
Okay.
You know, you guys had guys like Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels,
Oh,
when he was
yeah,
just starting
Razor
out.
Ramon, Shawn
1, 2,
Michaels.
3 Kid. You know, the guys that were just starting out to become big names. And I was watching some of those matches. Like, there was another one, WrestleMania 10, between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Intercontinental title match for, the first ever ladder match.
Okay.
Still another one of my favorite matches of all time. Just the story they told coming up to it in the actual match itself. You know, you've never seen anything like that before, especially with a ladder. No one even thought to use it up to that point.
That's always sketchy when you bring a ladder into it.
Man.
You already got like the turnbuckles and everything scary. Fucking talking about Shawn Michaels. That used to be my homie Shane. Shout out to you, Shane. Shane Sanders. He would kick motherfuckers in the face.
I remember Shane Sanders.
he would kick motherfuckers in the face all day. They were like, Shawn Michaels, sweet chin music. Like, as kids, you don't know no better. Legit kicking people dead. He'd be like,
They just straight in the face.
yeah. I like take somebody, throw him. He'd just come up, bow, kick him in the face. I'm like, oh god, lay down. That's man. Don't wrestle with your
No,
friend.
don't.
I don't know how any of us are alive, are not in prison for killing somebody because it was always so
Straight
scary.
by the grace of God, man.
I swear, Attitude Era would have to be mine, and I would say that that's kind of where I stayed and kind of quit off. Was like right with like the whole Rock,
Right, Rock and
Stone
Austin.
Cold. Like that was legit. The DX, like that was early stuff. Nation of Domination, kind of early stuff. But like even in the '90s with Razor Ramon, NWO,
Yeah.
WCW versus NWO on
WC
Nintendo 64.
Yep, that game, dude.
Can I get one?
Yes.
That
Yes.
was the legitest game ever.
World Tour and No Mercy.
I
both,
bet that looks like
Revenge,
I
rather.
bet that looks like shit right now.
You know what? Hey, legit though, it still plays one of the best games out
I
there.
haven't played it in so long, but man,
it takes the test of time. Trust me. Like,
I wasted so much of my life playing that game.
man, I've got 64 back at the house. I've got WCW End of Revenge. Like, and I still play it.
Yeah, Steve Nash, Razor Ramon, X Pac. Like that was legit. It was cool. It was dope, and that's kind of where I stopped. And there was the whole John Cena craze,
Yeah.
which I kind of followed. I understood a little bit and peeped it out and looked and checked it out and all that stuff. Then you get the whole Brock Lesnar and
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's still that dude. Like, I'm not personally a fan of him,
he's a big Jackson,
but he's a big dude who will legit beat your ass.
and he's legit beat some people's ass and
He
he
has.
switched over to MMA.
Yeah, when he won the UFC title, yep.
So what do you feel about like people that like went and did the wrestling and then jumped to MMA?
No, I've got nothing but respect for them, just for the fact that they've already excelled in one sport, and then they're going to try to go do another one. You know, CM Punk's another one of those guys. Punk's 38, 39?
Isn't that old?
Yeah. And
Holy
he
fuck.
left WWE on top pretty much still.
Yeah,
And-
like the height of his career.
Yeah, and went to go pursue MMA. I mean, granted, his first fight didn't go as well as he'd hoped. He got choked out in the first round. But, you know, here's this dude. He's already done everything he can in WWE. And he gives up the money, everything, the fame and whatnot to go try something else. And, you know, he put his heart into it, dude. And that screams respect for me. Like, he didn't just go into it half-cocked, half-assed, whatever.
Right.
Like, he spent a year and a half, almost 2 years training
I watched some of that like special of
with
him.
the doc that had on UFC. Yeah,
that was kind of cool. What do you feel about like people pursuing the whole Hollywood career? Like, The Rock is like besides him even being like a WWE, WWF star, he's almost like one of the most famous fucking.
He's probably the most paid
going.
actor in Hollywood right now. I think it's the last time I looked.
He's in a lot of shit. I still want to see that new Kevin Hart movie.
Oh, his Central Intelligence. Yeah,
that looks good. But he's blowing up.
And
do you feel like because the whole you have to play a role, a part, you gotta sell to the crowd? Do you think that kind of helps out with being?
I think it does. A lot of guys get it twisted and think that anyone that leaves the business should never come back to the business or whatnot. But at The Rock, whether you like him or not, he's one of those big names that still loves the business. And when he does come back, the once or twice every couple of years, when he's come back doing whatever
for a pay-per-view only,
pay-per-view, whatever, what have you, the fans still love him. And the fact that he said multiple times that wrestling's always going to be in his blood. He's always going to consider wrestling his home.
That's cool.
But on that same token, it's like, yeah, it kind of comes to a point where you got to choose one or the other. And I think he's chosen Hollywood, and that's perfectly okay. Because he's doing, like I said, he's doing well for himself.
He was in wrestling forever.
He was in
Rocky
wrestling for
Maivia,
Survivor Series 96? Yeah, I think it was 96. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Ever since he knew he wasn't going to be in football, he's like, fuck it, let's do wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, he came there, and he became legit one of the biggest stars ever. Like, he's up there at the echelon of, like, Undertaker and Stone Cold and Triple H and whatnot. I mean, you talk to someone on the street, ask them who Stone Cold is, you go, yeah, Stone Cold's Josh. Ask him who The Rock is, same answer.
Some of the old heads would be like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
now young kids are like, you mean the old dude that had that porno on Gawker? Like,
just like, oh.
like some of the young kids don't know.
It's just like, no, child, no. No, sit down, I'm going to tell you a story.
Sit down, I'm going to tell you the greatest story ever.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a thing.
But enough about the whole pro. If they're watching this and they're into wrestling, they know about the WWF, WWE,
yeah, exactly.
WWC. We want to talk about this whole independent scene that is blowing up. Not necessarily just because I follow you, but it's like I've seen it in multiple factions of like my social media of independent wrestling or these events going on, and
right.
It's not just WWC or WWC.
WWE.
I'm fucking drunk. WWF or WWE or
right.
It's there's big not conglomerates, but big corporations.
There's big promotions out there, and they're all over the country, all over the world. I mean, you've got places like New Japan Pro Wrestling. Japan is huge on pro wrestling. Like their annual show, Wrestle Kingdom, is held at the Tokyo Dome, which holds like 70,000 to 80,000 people.
Damn.
And it is an annual event that sells out the same event every single year. And you've got American stars over there. You've got the homegrown Japanese stars. You've got guys from the UK, Mexico over there. Like, one of my favorite guys to watch right now is over there. His name's Will Ospreay. He started out in the UK as, with Revolution Pro and Progress, which are a couple of the biggest promotions out in the UK right now. Mm-hmm. And watching him, a lot of people talk about a story and, you have to go tell something out there. But sometimes wrestling is just fun to watch.
Oh,
Will Ospreay is just one of those guys that's fun to watch.
Is he like super athletic? Like fun?
Very athletic. Very athletic.
Ooh, he got vibration.
No, say what was that? No, he's one of those guys. Him and another guy Ricochet caught a lot of flack over their match they had for New Japan in their Best of the Super Juniors tournament because they were all over the place. But it was one of those matches that you don't need to think about it. There don't need to be a story. It's just fun.
Yeah, like you just watch people give the God-given talent of
just go out and just let them show off. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what they did. And getting back to my point, independent wrestling is all over the place. Like we've got a place that's close to LaSalle.
Really?
Like we've got a pretty major promotion up in LaSalle called Dreamwave.
Nice.
And
I'll have links for all this stuff that he's talking about. Any videos, anything. He's gonna send me everything.
Yeah, I'll drop everything before this goes up.
Yeah, well, I'll throw it in the description.
Yeah, Dreamwave is up in LaSalle. They've got a bunch of places up in Chicago. AAW, Rev Pro. Rev Pro was actually run by Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins. before he went down to TNA.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes. He was in charge of the whole thing, and they've been getting a lot of steam. AEW's been getting a lot of steam, and it's just wrestling's everywhere. You just gotta know where to look.
Yeah.
Like my buddy, shout out to Sam Knight, running Massive Wrestling out of Southern Illinois, Indiana. November 20th or 21st. I gotta check the date for sure. They'll be running.
I'll post it up.
They'll be running their second show for Massive Wrestling, Uprising 2, down in Lawrenceville, Illinois. If I'm wrong,
Sounds
Sam,
good.
I'm so sorry.
If we can find a flyer or something, we'll post it right here. We'll post the dates.
I'll put it up on Twitter. I'm all over that. But he originally had the promotion out in California, sold out every show they had out there.
Damn.
And now he's brought it to Illinois. He sold out the first show, and they're on track to sell out the second show as well. So he's doing big things down there. And,
That's what's up.
there's my two home promotions up in Canada. Barry Wrestling and PWA Canada are both doing big things. PWA has actually just opened up, I believe, the school down in Trinidad.
What?
Yes, they've got they've got places in Ontario and British Columbia, and they just opened up a school down in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's fucking cool as shit.
And Barry Wrestling has been on the upswing for the past couple years, and they're selling out shows all over the Barrie, Ontario area now. And I'll actually give him a link to my YouTube channel for the description. I just got up there a couple months ago for my return, and once I get back up there, April-ish, I'll be working for them and PWA full time.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
So
I've seen the you also do a little bit of refereeing too.
I actually started out as a referee before I started doing the wrestling.
You're like making those baby steps.
Yeah, I got to work your way up. I did refereeing for a couple years.
Who was that big black son of a bitch that he looked like he was on a psych ward? And he beat the hell out of everybody,
including me.
I was like,
that is actually Patient 705. I've got a little bit of history with his manager right now, Jace Hart. Him and I go back a couple years. What had happened? You see, what had happened was he actually paid me off to screw over the original owner of Barrie Wrestling, and yeah, he never paid me, so I've still got some business to handle with him, and I about got him, and then he sent out his Looney Tune reject after me, and then yeah, we see how that one turned out.
how tall is that dude?
That dude, well, I'm 6 foot.
Yeah,
He's probably 6. No, he's probably like 6'5", 6'6".
He's a big son of a bitch.
I looked up at him. I'm like, well.
Which that was a good video. I liked watching that, and it's so interesting to see. Like, it's great show quality. Like when you say independent wrestling, people think like amateur wrestling.
Yeah,
and like when you first came here, I was like, I'm not gonna call it amateur wrestling.
No, because amateur wrestling is what we attempted in school, and
that'd be like a slap in the face of like anybody that's doing like this whole
exactly.
thing.
See,
there's nothing amateur about any of this stuff. The show quality of it, the showmanship, the production quality, like it's all up there and legit.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that say wrestling's out and out fake, and it's not. And
I don't give a damn if you slam me on my back. I don't care how padded that floor is.
You're gonna feel it.
I don't care how many loose boards there are on that goddamn floor. You slam me on my back, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off.
No, like there's something I read, and I really took it to heart. It's you can't fake gravity.
That's true.
Like when you're coming off the ropes, that's just gonna happen.
Fucking Rey Mysterio style, jumping around, running, motherfuckers.
There's nothing fake about that. You're gonna just hit. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and especially when you go like hardcore, like Cactus Jack and all those like snuff film style.
You start bringing chairs and whatnot to play, and that
and tacks and barbed wire and light bulbs.
Actually, I just saw something last night. TNA put on their Bound for Glory show, which is their WrestleMania, and this dude brought out this board that had barbed wire on it. Somebody else dumped a bunch of thumbtacks on it and then body slammed them onto both of them, and then put another barbed wire board on top of them.
See, fuck,
man,
that's insane.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I ever do any of that.
That's for like people that like got a hardcore boner for like.
I mean, you see those guys that got scars up and down their arm. I'm like, No, my skin's too pretty for that.
So I'm not trying to do
My
all
skin's too pretty for that.
that. I feel you. But yeah, I wanted to have you on and talk, and promote every independent thing you can think of, because I find it super interesting and so fucking cool that there are people out there, even if you're not going to go pro, or even if you're trying to go pro, or, whatever it is, not necessarily pro, but like to that huge WWE stage.
Right.
That there's this huge avenue in this market and this subculture that is like the independent.
The independents, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably people that are just going to go independent and probably don't want to sign that.
And they won't make it. And they can still make a damn good living for themselves.
Because I guarantee Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon probably have fucked quite a bit of people.
You know what?
Just like Dana White. Like, I know tons of people that are like, the same as with like the whole music thing that I'm a little more not interested in, but I'm a little more like focused on it, and I know more about. There's tons of people that will never sign a major deal. Never.
And like I said, that's okay, because like
they don't want to. They will literally make less money signing.
Exactly. Like there's a tag team out there called the Young Bucks, and they've actually been offered contracts with WWE, and they turned them down just for the sole fact they're making more money and they can go do what they want on the independents, like between Ring of Honor and New Japan and anywhere else that wants them. They're living quite comfortably for themselves,
right,
and not having to deal with the travel schedule of WWE, or possibly taking a pay cut from WWE from what they're making now.
Because Vince and them, they want that lobster dinner. And
oh yeah, they try to feast. They try to feast. Don't even get it twisted like that. Like
and nothing to them on that. Like, that's what you do a business for. That's what you create a giant corporation for. Is
you're out to make money.
Yeah. So, shout out to everybody's hustle that they got.
Yeah, I mean,
but just because the fact that you don't go to what people consider
the big time,
doesn't mean you're not doing big time stuff.
Right. I mean, you're not making moves at all.
Yeah, and a lot of people that are like very naive about how entertainment industry works. Mm-hmm. They'll think, oh, well, if you're not signed to Def Jam, then you're not going
to be nothing.
No, there's tons of people that signed to Def Jam and got fucked so bad as not making any money near like the type of money some random Joe Blow dude that goes out on tours, like college tours.
Right.
The same with any kind of industry, wrestling, fucking movie industry. There's probably people that don't want to sign like huge distribution deals.
Yeah, it's anywhere in entertainment. Like, you got guys that are doing like the small deals, and you got guys doing the big deals, and the small guys are happier because they're making more money and they can go do what they want instead of being held to a contract, from place A.
Right. The same thing with like MMA. I don't know how true it was, but I've seen a thing. You know who Paige Van Zandt is?
Yeah.
That female. Mm. She just like super kicked this chick in the face and knocked out of the night.
Really?
It was beautiful looking. Oh my god. It said she only got paid like $2,500 for that night. She made a shit ton of money off of Reebok. I guess that's like how a lot of the little people,
like sponsorships and whatnot.
Reebok is like a huge sponsorship for UFC right now. They're all wearing like triangle.
Oh yeah, I seen that Punk got his on his fight. Yeah,
she made a shit ton of money off Reebok, but UFC alone, $2,500 for that night.
Didn't Punk make something like 30 or 60 grand for his fight?
Yeah, he's a big name. Dana White knows like that's gonna huge.
Yeah.
But like something like that, like a chick like that, $2,500. She could go to like independent promotions and stuff. Like my cousin does like huge things in the Quad Cities and stuff, and there's promotions all over the world for MMA that she could have made a shit ton more than $2,500 for one night.
That's insulting, is what that is.
Yeah, it's very bad. I don't, in the comments tell me if that was wrong but I'm like, it was like a legit site that was saying it. But she made a bunch from Reebok.
From Reebok and sponsorship.
Which, I mean, that could be why she made less at that, but Dana White still wants to eat.
Yeah, I was saying. But at the same time, White's the one signing the paychecks. And
didn't he just sell it for like $3 trillion or something? Or $3 billion. Not trillion. Trillion.
Yeah, I would say trillion.
Trillion is like the definition.
You would see him run away to Jamaica and never hear from again.
He sold it for like $3 billion or something like that. But yeah, definitely, man. I can sit here and talk about wrestling for fucking ever and about all this stuff. Go ahead and let me tell them where they can find you at, all this social media stuff. They can let you know so we can get out of here and just do a little horse promoting real quick.
All right. So here's a little self plug. You can find me on Twitter at The Real Phoenix W. I've got my YouTube channel, just YouTube Phoenix Winterborn, and all the proper spelling being description because nobody seems to spell Phoenix right. It's all right. I would get PHE. I'm like, no.
Without spell check, I can't spell anything.
Oh,
right?
Chaz, come on, dude.
Dude, I have a smartphone. I don't know. I put in 3 letters and it tells me what I want it to be. Phoenix Witherboard on YouTube, though.
Yeah, Twitter's what I mainly use for all my upcoming appearances. Get a hold of me on there. I'll talk to anybody pretty much, unless you're a complete asshole, and then I probably won't talk to you and I'll block you. But yeah, just hit me up on there. Like I said, drop. Who's been drinking more, you or me?
Yeah, right now, what's going on?
Drop me a comment on YouTube. Let me know what you think of the videos or the matches, whatever. I'm gonna start using that more and more as I start getting closer to getting back up to Canada, and we'll just go from there. And I'll see you guys on the internet. Hopefully.
Yes, thank you again for coming by, man. I appreciate it and talking nerdy. People consider it nerdy, but I don't see one nerd that's gonna like jump from a fucking like 4 foot, 10 foot jump.
Yeah, there's not too many of us that will sit there and play video games one night and the next night go out and jump off a 10, 15 foot ladder.
Get slapped in the chest 20 times.
Man.
Ric Flair style.
Side note, those chops hurt.
Oh, I've seen videos for you. Oh, shit.
What the hell was that?
That was my Xbox talking back to me. My TV's on.
Calm down over there.
Yeah, I've seen people's blood vessels break.
Man, on their chest. The first time I took chops out in Hawaii, my chest was red as shit the next day. Like, I took like 10 chops from everybody at the training session. And that's...
initiation style.
Man, that came out to like 100 some odd chops.
Right.
Yo.
Fuck that.
Yo, that shit hurt the next day. I had to go to work out of the Navy at that point. So I'm sitting there walking around like this, like, what happened? I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
That's awesome. Well, this has been your Drunk Uncles podcast. You can catch the audio version of this on SoundCloud. If you're listening to audio only, you can check out the video version on YouTube. And you can check me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, every damn social media thing you can think of.
You got all the social
media. I'm on MySpace, Black Planet, Tinder.
Right,
Tinder. Your Drunk Uncle's on Tinder. No, but I'm on everything, man. You can check this out. Once again, thanks to my special guest. This has been your Drunk Uncles podcast. Peace.